And team owners showed solidarity Sunday and Monday in response to President Trump's comments that the NFL owners should fire or suspend players that protest the national anthem. Bryant Gumbel responded to President Trump's comments on HBO's Real Sports. Let's take a listen.
A quick thanks to the current occupant of the White House for energizing the social conscience of the modern American athlete. That occupant's weekend series of racist, churlish, and childish comments drew a variety of stunning rebukes and actions, which suggests jocks may finally be realizing that apathy won't cut it anymore, that in conjunction with their fame, they have important civic roles to play, especially now. Those of us who've long focused on the intersection of sports and society have often wondered what it would take for today's athletes to forsake the path of least resistance and actually stand for something. And now we know. Many suddenly seem not just willing, but also eager to follow in the giant footsteps of Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Bill Russell, Billie Jean King, Roberto Clemente, Arthur Ashe, and many others who courageously use their athletic platforms to challenge authority in the pursuit of justice. Back in their day, Bob Dylan famously said, "The times they are changing," and that's still true today, as is the sad reality that certain things haven't really changed at all.
Shannon, does Bryant Gumbel have a point?
He has a very good point. And the thing is, the days to stick to sports are over. Skip, it started, look, this goes back because we had actors. President Reagan was an actor. Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor. Jesse Ventura. We see Al Franken was a writer for Saturday Night Live, and now he's in the Senate. Mm-hmm. We see, and we saw a reality TV star become the most powerful figure in the world.
Yep.
No, and when he mentioned those names, we're talking about the 1960s, and we're talking about what was going on. So for us now, you have to have the perfect storm, and that's what you had then. You had athletes trying to say, "Hold on, even though I'm making a lot of money, I'm still black in America, and I'm treated differently than even the whites that's not making nearly as much." Mm-hmm. So I got a problem with this. Billie Jean King, she fought for equality. Why, because I'm a female, should I get treated differently than a male? Why should I make less if I'm doing the same job that a male's doing? Now we get guys, and we get President Trump and his rhetoric, I think is resonating with them because they see where he's trying to take it, and those athletes do not want to go back there. They know what it's like. They heard what it was like. They have mom, they have grandparents. They have an opportunity to read. And it says, we're not going back there. We're not going to allow you to take us back there. So we are. The days of sticking to sports because they're intertwined. And he made that abundantly clear, I think it was Friday or Saturday night, when he, as a politician, he talked about what was transpiring in the NFL. And I tweeted, can he please stick to politics? I go to politics to get away from sports. You see what I did there, Skip? Because everybody say, I'm going to get away from politics, so that's why I watch sport. So they are, Skip, and it's resonating because a lot of what's transpiring, if it doesn't directly, how does it affect LeBron when he's making $100 million? But LeBron realized everybody doesn't make $100 million. So there's going to be a large segment of people that's going to be affected by some of the policies that are being instituted. And as Jordan Sparks wrote on her hand, the powerful should speak up for the voiceless. The millionaires should speak up for the penniless. And that's when a society is at its absolute best. When there's caring, there's understanding, and we ask for equality, and we ask that everybody be judged fairly. Not anyone thinks they're better solely because I'm white, and solely because I'm a male and you're female. And so I applaud these young men that are using their platform. And what we've seen, Skip, they're called influencers. And I don't know when this dichotomy changed, maybe you can tell me. Because there was a time, once upon a time, average people sold products on television. But what they realized is that average people didn't want to be like other average people. They wanted to be like the guy that could dunk, or the guy that could throw a pass, or the guy that could run fast. And so these marketers and these endorsers, sponsors said, hold on, if I got Joe Namath, or if I got Roger Staubach, if I got this guy, what would happen? Lo and behold, they want to be like them. Not like I don't want to be like the guy across the street. He's a normal guy. He lives in my day. I see him. That's just so that Joe Montana used. That's the shoe Michael Jordan wears. That's the car that Tom Brady drives. So now they realize, hold on, if we can pitch products, and what we've seen from politicians, each politician try to get the biggest star they possibly can and parade them out there on stage with them. Oh, Tom Brady like him? Bill Belichick like him? LeBron James like her? Ta-da. So they're realizing their voice has weight and they're using it for good.
For good. Bryant Gumbel, I first met right here in Los Angeles in 1976. I was working for the LA Times, and it assigned me to do a profile, for which I had to spend a good deal of time with Bryant Gumbel, on this young African-American sportscaster who was trailblazing, man. He was shattering the mold. He was breaking through. He was just a weekend sportscaster here in LA, locally, but he was flying every weekend to do national out of New York, and then flying back to do his local gig here, just on the weekends, weeknights, I should say, here in LA. And I really liked him because he was his own man. I know people have had different issues with him through the years, and I haven't been close to him through the years, but this really caught my eye. And then it caught my soul, because this is some powerful stuff. When he condemns the president's weekend comments as racist, churlish, and childish, it's pretty strong from Bryant. And I love the point, because I really believe in the point that these comments have helped inspire a lot of today's athletes to do something we haven't seen since the days. You have to go all the way back to the 60s to see, like, that's why I was so captivated in high school by Muhammad Ali. I put his poster up on my wall alongside Joe Namath, but it was because he was so fearless. And I knew how hard it was for him to speak out in the 60s against racism, any sort of social issues, the way he was treated or not treated. And all of a sudden, it took all these years, because, you know, I was the biggest Michael Jordan fan, but I knew in my heart of hearts, Michael was ducking and dodging all the big issues, the real issues, to protect his sneaker brand. And he was pretty out front of it. I'm not going to get involved in that. Okay? So now, all of a sudden, we have a new generation, and I've told you this twice before on this show, and I do believe it with all my heart and soul, that in the biggest picture, the current president of the United States will be great for the black community in America, because he is so outspoken in so many offensive ways, certainly to the black community, but many in the white community, that it has helped even reunite and refuel the black community against him. Well, that's not a bad thing. He might be a bad thing, but that's not a bad thing.
He is helpful because it's forced the black community to come together and fight against something. He's not good policy-wise.
No, but I'm just talking about
but
as
to
inspiration.
galvanize,
He is galvanized in ways I've never, again, I'm on the outside looking in, but I've never seen this before. I mean, we went through 2 terms of President Obama, and I never saw this kind of sort of firepower in the black community.
Because you know what happened, Skip? Here's the guy says, I'm making $8-10 million, and this man thinks I'm an SOB. So he thinks I'm no better than anybody. He thinks I'm no better than anybody. That he would call me. I'm a professional athlete. People pay big bucks to not only see me play, but they buy my jersey. And he thinks I'm an SOB because I'm protesting.
Okay, and this is wholly unscientific on my part, but I also believe that this current president of our great country has helped create some sympathy for the black community in some facets of the white community. Does that mean we've stamped out racism? Obviously not.
No.
And it's a major problem that will be ongoing facing this country. But have we made a little bit of progress where some white people are sitting back, even if they voted for Donald Trump, and say, wait a second, what's going on here? Well, and then what happened over the weekend? I tried to tell you Monday, what hit me right between the eyes was, I remembered a week ago, Kenny Stills Miami Dolphins, is reaching out to his brothers in the NFL. Hey, where did the protest go?
Right.
It's fading.
Right.
We can't just let it die. Right?
Because we're dying down, but we
Yeah.
see the most powerful guy ratcheting it up.
Yeah.
So that's not balancing out.
No, but when he ratcheted it all the way up to
Right.
attack them directly
Yes.
in a speech in Huntsville, Alabama, and go all the way to SOBs,
Right.
all of a sudden, the whole NFL, quote unquote, protested the president for either right or wrong reasons, but they did.
Yeah.
There was a show of force in the NFL that would not have been there without those remarks in Huntsville, Alabama.
This is a different generation, Skip. But when I was growing up, if somebody called you an SOB or mofo, you really fought them.
Ah.
Because I'm saying Mary Porter didn't raise
Right.
no mofos.
Hey,
Mary Porter,
and
Mary
trust
Porter,
me, that operated in the white community as well as in the
Mary
black.
Porter ain't have no SOBs.
Right.
So now so not only are you attacking them, you're attacking their parents
You are.
because they're saying you're the son of one.
I agree.
Whoa, look, okay, if you want to say something about me, but now we already know in the black community, mom is sacred. Now, if you want to fight, Skip, your mama,
That's the ultimate.
your mom, now I got to fight you. You left me no choice. So he left no choice, especially for a lot. Now, I don't, like I said, Skip, when you talk about, well, I can't relate because I'm not black, I don't know how the whites feel about that. But I'm telling you, in our community, you got a problem. Because you're not talking about me. You call it. You say I'm the son of one.
Mm-hmm.
So now, me and you know, what we got to do something.
Well,
Well-
Brian Gumbel's right. We are living in different times, and a big part
Very.
of that is because of the way that the president speaks. He has enabled other people to speak that way, because if he's the highest-ranking politician
Yeah.
and leader of our great country, and he speaks that way, why can't I speak that way?
Yep.
That's why someone felt emboldened to call Mike Tomlin a no-good N-word the other day
Right.
on their Facebook, where their face is and their occupation is, and everyone that is their friends and family can see what they're saying. It's a lot of hypocrisy. But what we have learned, though, is that it's still hard to talk about racism because Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. So